everybody, and welcome to the Great Couples, a podcast. This is where you get all the information that you may not be able to find anywhere else, simply because we ask the questions that nobody else wants to ask, and most people don't have the capacity, the capability, or the honesty in them to be able to answer those questions. But that is what we do here. We deconstruct things and we have the conversations that are really tough to have in most times in your life. But I am never alone. My name is Nabeelah Jogee. I'm never alone. I'm always joined by somebody, usually Pastor Jethro Mukome, who is the marriage pastor, the marriage guy. He is out there to restore marriages that are seemingly broken. He's also there to make sure that marriages don't fall apart. So he is a licensed marriage counselor as well. So if you need some help, we'll drop some links into the description box below. So please make sure that you are reaching out for help. Pastor Jethro, what's up?
Hi, Nubs. How are you?
I'm cool. How are you?
I'm cool as well.
So you see what happens is he's around young people all the time. So he doesn't say I'm very well, thanks anymore. He says I'm cool. And I wonder, is that how you were before marriage? Were you just cool?
Yeah. I've always been cool.
So
I'm a cool dude.
Well, you know what? I think I'll need to get a second opinion from his wife, Christina. But, he is a cool dude. But, I was thinking about, when we're in the dating phase. So we've spent a couple of episodes now talking about, the importance of premarital counseling, talking about a lot of things that, should be dealt with before the marriage so that they don't need to be fixed or be the reasons that a marriage ends and is ruined. So, we spoke about some red flags a few episodes ago. I feel like there's so much more here because that's why I asked you, were you cool before marriage? Like, did marriage change you or did you change marriage?
Certainly marriage changes people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did change me, but you must understand that there's positive change and negative change, So some people are changed positively, depending on attitude and also depending on motive, but why did you get married? That's a key factor, and it determines the direction that you're going to change in. If, you're going to marriage with a positive attitude, definitely marriage will mold you into a better person. But if you go in with a negative attitude, marriage will break you.
Okay, so when you're saying the attitude that you go into marriage with, let's take it just a step back, just back into like the dating phase of things. As a young lady, you are courted by many young gentlemen caller. So are we like? How do you pick? Do you entertain the idea of speaking to each of them at the same time? Do you get into a committed relationship with one that leads to marriage? How do we start this thing? Because as a church, we are so good at making people feel bad about themselves. Mm-hmm. We are so good at that. Mm-hmm. So as a young lady, that puts a lot of pressure on you, and even as a young gentleman, to be honest. So how does dating work? Like, how is it supposed to work? You have young children, you're better of the dating age. What's your advice to them?
Yeah, I think the reason why we are emphasizing on pre-marital counseling is I've realized that it's an important aspect of human life because everyone, okay, not everyone, but most people will get married at some point. Or rather, they'll get into some kind of a serious relationship at some point. It's like the fact that every child at some point is going to grow up and they're going to need to work, do some kind of work at some point. So it would be unwise not to prepare, children for the time that is definitely coming for them to go to work. But unlike marriage, unfortunately, people are not prepared, for marriage. No one is talking to them about marriage. This is why we are having a lot of people regretting, later on. I've counseled people, who told me that they regret getting married. Some tell me that I got married to the wrong person. It's all coming back to the issue that what is dating? Who is teaching us about these things? Because these things will affect us, whether they like it or not. Dating is going to affect you.
Yeah, well, that's why you're here. Teach us. I'm out there ready to learn.
Yeah, dating. There are people right now who incurred scars from their dating phase because they were experimenting. So Nabeelah, falls in love with Matthew.
These are not facts. This is a story.
Yeah. Falls in love with Matthew. Things don't work out. Falls in love with John. Things don't work out. Falls in love with Peter. Things don't work out. And finally, she gets to guy number 10. Okay. And she's been dating all these guys. Then she then decides to get married. But the question that she will not be able to answer is, why were you dating? See, that's where we've got to zero in on that. Why do people date? Because when I went to university, okay, that's in preparation for my professional life. You don't just go to university, for fun. It's preparing you for your professional life. So dating should prepare people for marriage. So people should date when they are mature enough to understand what dating is. Dating comes before marriage.
Well, we hope so.
It should come before marriage, okay, ideally. So I believe that there should be a certain age that people should be encouraged to start dating. And there's a certain age that people should not be encouraged to date. But today we've got 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds dating. And they're dating for fun. But this aspect, the fun aspect is going to affect the rest of their lives. The moment they get married, that's when they realize that they were wounded by the dating phase. So why is Nabeelah dating? Why is Nabeelah entertaining John? Is Nabeelah ready for marriage? Or she's doing it for fun? We really need to unwrap this issue. We don't date for fun. We don't date to feel good. We date in preparation for the serious phase in our lives of getting married and having a family.
Okay.
So as long as we do not shed light on that issue, we are going to end up, it's happening. 11-year-olds are dating.
What do they do?
They,
at 11,
they're actually being intimate.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah. It's happening.
It's true.
It's the sad reality, but it's happening. Okay. 12-year-olds are being intimate. They talk about love, which they do not even understand.
Yeah.
You hear them say, I love my guy. And you hear the guy, this 15-year-old boy, 14-year-old boy, telling you that I'm in love. And they do not even understand what
the concept is.
They don't even understand it. Now you have exposed them to adult stuff. Okay. They are now sexually active. It's because we have exposed them to a stage that they are not ready for.
But I mean, okay, you're from the medical fraternity. Hormones have to play a part in this. At that age that you're specifically speaking about, the early teens, we're looking at a difficult time in your life. So chomp on that for a second. We're going to take a short break and we'll be back to answer how young is too young. Hey guys, my name is Nabeelah Jogee and newsflash, I'm a woman, but I'm interested in these books. Crisis of the Father. I mean, I need better men. I'm a divorced woman. A whole different story for another day. Then I have the woman. Guys, I don't even know how, like we're all out there. Hey, I want to be a Proverbs 31 woman. What do you even have you read Proverbs 31 anyway? But nonetheless, we all want to be married. So the man didn't come out with a marriage book. He came out with Marry Me Again. Guys. Anyway, get your hands on any one of these books. They're all going to be life-changing for you. They've changed my life. I'm sitting in this chair today and having a conversation with Jethro Mukome, the author of these books. Guys, make sure you get a copy. Please, there are 1,000 million trillion links of where to get your copy. Make sure that you get one because I've got all three. Hey guys, welcome back to the Great Couples episode, Great Couples podcast rather. This episode is frying my brain and it's because it is a tough one. It's a deep one. And we, just before we took a short break, we said that we would jump into how young is too young and, you know, the reasons behind dating. What are you dating for? Let's jump straight back into that. Mm-hmm. You know, I've met, and I know this is the exception to the rule, but I know of people that met their person when they were 15 and they're together and they're 50. I know that's the exception to the rule, but let's try and give out some advice to our viewers because obviously, yes, the following is there. And there's a lot of parents that may be struggling with when to allow their kids to go on a date. So let's jump into that.
Yeah, remember that there are some people who drink poison, but they did not die. So we don't use those people as a standard. Okay. So if
this is a serious podcast.
yeah, so we don't use that as a standard. We can't go on and encourage people to get into relationships because so some guys now, some couple, you know, they are now old and yet they started dating when they were 15 years old. Mm-hmm. We can't use that as a standard. It's I don't want to use the term abnormal. Let me just say, you know, those are rare. Cases.
Like I said, it's the exception. It's definitely not.
Yeah. So what we do is we want to encourage people to do what is right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's not encourage you know, young people to date if they're not ready to get serious. Okay. To me, you know, not just as a pastor, but as a good man, if I should put it that way. I don't believe that there's anything good about encouraging young people to, you know, to jump from one relationship to another if they are not yet ready for marriage. Mm. Yeah, and unfortunately, this is what is happening, you know, nowadays. It's very rare now, you know, for these young guys to get a partner who has not gone through a lot of relationships. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's impacting negatively on marriage. You know, as I was saying before, but we took the break. Imagine somebody has gone through 10 heartbreaks, mm-hmm. And eventually you want to take that person for a husband or for a wife. What happened to them, you know, during courtship, has definitely molded their character. Okay, there are people that are cancer and you wonder what really happened to this to this person. Why are they so hard? Why are they so difficult to deal with? Some are they're so cold. You know, you try and encourage them, but you can't encourage them. And then that's when I realized that, you know, it's all about where they're coming from. They've been affected and they've been molded by their past experiences. It's things that they went through during courtship. Courtship is not a joke. You know, when you meet, you know, different people, they leave something in you. They leave part of them in you. Mm-hmm. You know somebody for too long, Nabeelah, you know, I don't just mean knowing, you know, I mean being that close because you're in love. Mm-hmm. There's something that always rubs off.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
true.
you don't fall in love with someone and then you walk away unscathed. No,
No.
something just rubs off you.
Yeah.
So if I'm to give an advice, I would say we really need to teach our children about this dating issue and this courtship issue. We need to prepare them for it, and we need to tell them that we don't date for fun.
Okay, so let's say that the intention is there. I'm dating Philip with the intention of marriage. But then I start to see like a whole load of like red flags, like just things that I don't necessarily like. For example, maybe he's got a really short temper. And I'm like, yeah, all I said was the coffee's a little bit too hot. And then somebody's just going crazy. So as not to keep coming back to you as my counselor and saying, I left Philip, I'm now with Paul. Paul now has another issue, right? Paul he's got wandering eyes, right? So now I leave Paul. Now I'm on to Matthew, right? And then every time I come to you, there's a new apostle with me, right? You're going to look at me like, So when is it okay to, like, how do we fix red flags that we see? Will marriage fix these red flags once we're married? Wow, how does this work?
Yeah, the reason why we go to school is because we are going there for teachers. Okay, we don't just go there to gather as students. There has to be a teacher. So the teacher is a mentor. Okay, he guides us on the do's and don'ts. You may be very intelligent, but without a teacher, your chances of succeeding, even though you're intelligent. But the teacher is there to guide you. Yeah. This is why we are introducing the concept of premarital counseling. You need somebody in your life. This is why my book, The Christ of the Fathers, is becoming more and more, relevant, in our time. Because talking about the importance of a father in the lives of children. So, ideally, what is sensible is when Nabeelah has found a guy, who's interested in her, Nabeelah should go to her father. This is why fathers should develop solid relationships with their children. The boy child and the girl child, they all need guidance. But the absence of the father this is why we are seeing this abnormal, setups that we are seeing around us, because the office of the father is vacant. So Nabeelah, this guy is interested in Nabeelah. Nabeelah should go to your father ideally. This guy is interested in me, Daddy.
Yeah, but I have to stop you there because you know what? Yes, our audience is international, but we are sitting on Zimbabwean soil right now. In an African family, I go to my father and say, "Hey, Munyasha is interested." I don't know if I will survive that conversation.
Right.
Will I?
In my book, Marry Me Again, I talk about change. Okay, if you don't change, then change will change.
Okay.
And when it changes you into someone you will not like. Times have changed.
But culture.
Yes, culture is dynamic. It's not static.
Is it not that dynamic culture that's put us into the situation that we're in today? Because it's allowing us to do things that our ancestors never even dreamed about.
You see, this ship is sinking. Okay, we need to come up with solutions. Let's not talk about it should not have sunk in the first place.
Okay,
it's sinking. Okay, you need lifeboats. Let's not dwell on, if we had not, we are already here. Okay, and my argument is coming from the problems that we are facing. It's a reality. Teen pregnancy is a reality. Okay, children are having sex out there. It's reality. Substance abuse is reality. Let's not talk about the 70s, the 60s. We have moved on.
We have moved on.
As long as we do not acknowledge the challenges that we have, okay, fathers need to change. That's how it is.
Yeah.
Because if you're not going to accept it, unfortunately, you're going to be hit by a slave bullet. It's happening.
Yeah. Stray bullets that they might be. The ship is actually sinking. While I digest this, grab yourself a cup of coffee. We'll be right back.
My name is Pastor Jethro Mukome. I'm the author of these books. These books are amazing. They are on marriage, and they are on the office of the father and the office of the mother. So these books are going for $10 each, and you can get your copy at Trinity Methodist Church in town, or at number 15 Norwich Road, Islay. Or you can simply call me on 0772 308 672 or 0777 308 726. Thank you.
Well, welcome back to your favorite podcast, the Great Couples Podcast. Interesting topic that we are chewing on today, and the conversation started with if I'm interested in a guy, I should take the guy to my father, or at least speak to my father about it prior to taking the guy to him. I brought up the concept of culture. Would that be appropriate? And my ship got shot down, and I was told we don't live in the 60s and 70s. We need to keep moving because the ship is sinking. It's all yours.
Yeah, so I think that's where we are having a problem, because if there's a problem, let's not look at why did it happen. No, let's look at solving the problem. All right, we all need to admit, if ever you're going to be able to solve a problem, you've got to acknowledge that you've got a problem first. If you bury your head in the sand and pretend that all is well, then there's no way we are going to come out of this deep hole. We have to acknowledge that we've got a problem. Okay, teen pregnancies are real. Okay, these children are being intimate. It's a reality. These children are taking substances. That's reality. Okay, so fathers have to wake up to this reality. So to save the situation, I am saying, so that we avoid this problem that you're talking about of, people ending up getting into multiple relationships before getting married, and eventually when they get married, their marriages will not even last a year. So Nabeelah gets, this guy is interested in Nabeelah. Okay, firstly, you must have a relationship with your father. Yeah, your father must tell you the right age for you to start entertaining boys. Okay, there's a time to be serious with your school. There's a time to be serious with your spiritual development. Then there's a time now that Nabeelah is ready. Okay, so fathers must talk to their daughters and their sons about these issues.
Okay, I'm done with school. I've been developing and working on my spirituality. I'm ready. I speak to my dad about, and I've got the relationship with my dad. I speak to my dad about John. Dad gives us his blessing. I start pursuing this relationship with John, right? Then I start seeing the red flags. Do I continue and hope to God that he'll change after we say I do? Or do I walk away and find Peter? Or what do I do? Because this is my issue today. What do I do?
There's something about a father that people don't really understand and know. It's just like the office of the pastor. There's a certain wisdom, I call it the sixth sense. So it's kind of a prophetic gift that a father is given. A father has got this ability to see into things, as a way of protecting what God has given him. Because God will never send you somewhere without equipping you. So when you bring your boyfriend, or a potential partner, when you bring them before your father, there's just something about a father. They can tell just by looking at the guy that there's something wrong with this guy.
Okay.
I know what I'm talking about. If it was a call-in session, fathers would be calling in right now. You see, this is why there's a problem all the time, because what children do when they get into relationships, they expose their relationships to their mothers. When I started going out with Christian, Christian's dad did not even know about me. For over a year, he did not know that there's a guy. But Christian's mom knew about me. Huh? She used to cook for me and so on, but the dad never knew that there's a guy who was there. There's, okay, in my case with Christian, things went well. All right. But things don't always go well, like what happened to me. But you see, if you quickly involve a father, the father has got this ability to see into situations, And in most cases, as I said, if it was a calling, you DM and calling and confirming what I'm saying.
Well, they've got the comment section, so drop your comments down below.
Yeah, they've got this ability just to look at the guy and see and tell you stuff. This guy is wasting your time. If it's a boy who has brought, his girlfriend, dads have this ability to tell you, leave this girl alone. She's not correct.
Okay, fine. So let's continue with my analogy here. So I brought John to you, and you're like, and I'm like, Dad, I totally respect you. I respect your judgment. Now I go get Paul, right? I bring Paul, and you're like, okay, give it a try, and I give it a try. Then I'm like, I come to you and I'm like, Dad, this Paul guy, I'm not so sure anymore. And then you're like, you know what? I was about it. So let's let it go. At what point do we keep letting these people go? Because you know what? At some point, I'm going to get a title given to me by society. Could say, but last week she was with, and then next month she's with, and then what am I supposed to do then? Because I get it. I don't want to get into something and it be wrong after the marriage. That's not what we want. Is it okay for me to go through 100 to find my diamond? Or how?
A magnet will never attract paper.
Whoosh. Yeah, there's the quote of the day.
A magnet always attracts something with magnetic properties. So what is in Nabeelah will always attract, who you are. Don't get this wrong. You always attract who you are.
You?
What is inside you always follow you. You see, I've seen cases where even in church it's happening. This guy goes to church because he's looking for a decent girl, but this guy is naughty. And there's also this girl who has come to church looking for a decent guy, but she's naughty. I don't know what happens. They meet each other in that corner.
Because they're both naughty. What are they doing at the corner?
Yes. You see, so you always attract this is why it is important for dads to teach their children, godly values, or what we call the human values, Ubuntu. Okay. Because if you've got these values, you also attract somebody who's got similar values. But the problem is values are gone. So, if these bad guys keep coming after you, then I begin to question what kind of a person you are.
Oosh. Okay.
Because if you have got values attract values. Okay. If you are valueless, you talk about the bond, bond. I've seen bond notes, thrown everywhere. Because they no longer have value. But right now, Zig, you'll be lucky to pick up a Zig note. You know why? Because Zig has value.
Wow.
So if you are valueless, you attract valueless people.
Wow. I don't even know how to close this out. Magnets don't attract paper. This conversation definitely needs to continue.
My name is Pastor Jethro Mukome. I'm the author of these books. These books are amazing. They are on marriage, and they are on the office of the father and the office of the mother. So these books are going for $10 each, and you can get your copy at Trinity Methodist Church in town, or at number 15 Norwich Road, Islay. Or you can simply call me on 0772 308 672 or 0777 308 726. Thank you.
Well, welcome back. This episode has been filled with mic drops. Biggest one for just before we took the break was magnets don't attract paper. So you attract what flows out of you. If you are valueless, you attract valueless beings. If you are value-filled, you attract value-filled beings. It's a bitter pill to swallow, because the question was, how many frogs do I need to kiss before I find my prince, man? I want my prince.
Yeah. Well,
so then maybe I'm the frog.
maybe.
That's why I'm not coming to Australia.
Wow.
No, but genuinely, like that's where the issue is, what you say on this podcast is things that even me just sitting next to you, like some of the things that you say, I'm like, you're applicable to my life. So no, I get it. And there's a lot of girls out there that don't have the male influence. They don't have the father.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons that I'm more than happy to do this podcast with you, because you are now becoming a father to fatherless girls, to fatherless men, to the world at large. So let's keep going. Let's keep going a bit deeper here.
Yeah, the issue comes back. This is why, it is important for all those who can to get a copy of my book, The Christ of the Fathers. The issue comes back to the fathers, because it's fathers who instill values in their children. The absence of a father is also the absence of values. Okay, there are of course rare cases where things remain okay, but in most cases, you remove a father from the picture, you also remove values. So we are teaching fathers, to move with time. Okay, gone are the days where you used to leave children to the care of their mothers. Fathers now need to be hands-on. You'll be shocked by the relationship that I have with my boys. I started coaching them tennis when they were just little boys, toddlers. And you talk of Mukome, it's associated with tennis. This guy is at some point played for junior Zim tennis. I did it deliberately, so that we'll be friends. So there's nothing that happens in their lives that they don't talk to me about. Come a girlfriend, Dad, what do you think about this girl? And I actually develop a relationship with their girlfriends. Okay, and so I'm able to speak into their lives. If we are going to avert, the challenges that today's marriage is facing, fathers need to up their game. Okay, your child should not shy away from coming to you with their potential partner. Okay, but you should have laid a base. Why do you want to be in a relationship? Are you ready for marriage? If the answer is no, then don't. Because if you go in and you're not ready, you're most likely going to make errors that will follow into the future. So here we are, Nabeelah, and I said this with a very sad heart. There are a lot of people whose lives have been messed because they did not have mentorship. Yet they are so confused, because when they needed mentorship at a certain stage in their lives, there was no one.
Absent, yeah.
Okay, so they ended up, experimenting. A lot of people, right now as I speak, there's somebody who's experimenting right now with their future. Okay, so they indulge in sex, do whatever, and they think they're doing the right thing. But social media is also coming in, playing a very evil role. Encouraging. There's this theory. I don't know if it's a theory or whatever that is doing the rounds, where even the girl child is. It's actually the girl child is jumped on. They are saying, they're encouraging each other to engage in premarital sex. They're saying, how, if we don't do that, how then do I know? you know, that this guy will be able to satisfy me. You see,
You can't buy a car without test driving. That's
yeah,
what they say.
you see now. It's and it's the girl child was pushing that. To me, that's utter nonsensical. Because what's going to happen? What's going to happen when eventually you get the right guy? Are you going to tell them about all these experiments that you had?
Probably minus a few.
Anything that you're not prepared to divulge, anything that you're not prepared to divulge, it means it's not good. So are all these people indulging in premarital sex, are they going to divulge this information?
Probably not.
Probably not. You're very correct. So it now brings in the aspect of the fathers. Okay, it's the role and the duty of fathers to educate their children on this important aspect, because marriage is a lifetime engagement. It's not a part time. We have to teach people that marriage is a lifetime engagement, and the Bible says, "Whatever God joins together, let no man." The reality is, when you get married, you must only be separated by death. That's the reality.
So, coming back to the original essence behind what I wanted to talk about today is when I see red flags and I think, well, you can never get 100% in your partner. So, he's, a bit of a liar. He, has a bit of a drinking situation going on and, we can fix that. Like, I'll pray for him. The church will pray for him. I'll do stuff to make, I'll make it happen. But, he's 90% good. No, actually, no, 90 is a bad one. 80-20 is a rule that a lot of girls use. Is 80% good, 20% bad. I can fix the 20. Is that possible post-marriage? Rapid fire.
That's the unfortunate thing. You hear a lot of people say that, this guy is not that bad, and probably if I'm good to him or to her, they're going to change. We all believe that marriage is a big spanner, that is going to fix, all our character flaws. But what people don't know is that marriage magnifies problems. Last time I was talking about marriage making people naked. So it magnifies. Those lies will only be magnified when you get married. So yes, Christians, those of Christian background, they believe that they'll pray for their spouses to change. This is why people are frustrated. This is why people are angry, because people don't change. No one has the capacity to change anyone. No wife, no husband has capacity to change anyone. It's only God who can change people. But change is not physical. Change is spiritual. It's the change of the heart. So there's no one who has got the ability to change the heart of a man except God himself. So when you see those red flags, don't fool yourself by thinking that, look, I think if we are in this marriage long enough, I think this guy is going to change. And this is also the weird belief, from some, especially the women folk. They believe that if they sleep with this guy and they have a child, maybe probably in marriage, they believe that the child is going to bring stability. And all of a sudden, this guy is going to be responsible because there's now a child. That is wrong thinking. When you see red flags, okay, then try and address those red flags. If one is not prepared to address those red flags, then quit. Because if you do not quit, the unfortunate thing is, right now we are having to deal with the issue of high divorce rate. Because people were supposed to quit before they got married. They were under this, disillusionment that this guy is going to change, this lady is going to change. And when they realize that this person is not changing, they opt, for divorce. And yet, if people go their separate ways, before getting married, it will be far much better, because the consequences of failed marriages are dire.
They say a red traffic light is red for you to stop at. If you proceed through that red traffic light, you have a very high chance of having an accident which could result in death. That's the same concept about the red flags before marriage that we've been speaking about today. This has been a powerful podcast.
I agree.
Make sure that you are joining us next time for this and more. From us at Great Couples. Catch you next time.
Catch you next time.